A gorgeous Saturday opens up the month of July for USL Championship, and tonight we have an interconference matchup. It's a team from Oklahoma with a formed identity, and FC Tulsa up against the fluid and developing squad, Miami FC. Hello everyone, with Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. We're midway through the year and both clubs in the middle of a playoff race. Miami holding serve just above the playoff line.
It's an opportunity for Miami to rebound after two disappointing results, but it's not going to be easy because this FC Tulsa side is fantastic away from home. For Gaston Madoni, the first 10 to 15 minutes will be crucial to get his side in a rhythm.
Forward Francisco Bonfilio has been held without a goal in his last 3 matches. Against the stingy defense, how does he get off?
It's the service into Francisco Bonfilio because he's such a big part of what Miami FC want to do going forward. The ability to score goals in a numerous of different ways, whether it is solo, but his movement in around that 18-yard box to get on the service. Look for Miami FC to play the ball into Francisco Bonfilio here tonight.
Miami's offense has been led by the one-man army of Bonfilio, but if they have hopes for a long postseason run, they need more to provide him with a cavalry.
No way around that. Miami needs more secondary goal-scoring opportunities, especially with the talent on this roster. They're just too good to only find the back of the net 13 times in 2025. It starts with Lucas Milano and Sebastian Blanco need more production. 2 players that have had success and experience at the MLS level.
Western Conference is a logjam, but for FC Tulsa, they're amongst the top 4. What's their ceiling?
I think it is that top 4 for Luke Spencer and this FC Tulsa side to continue to push pressure on El Paso Locomotive, San Antonio, and New Mexico. And it starts with the consistency for Luke Spencer to stay in that position.
Forward Taylor Calahera made the jump from MLS Next Pro and is not disappointed. He leads the team in goals and doesn't appear to be losing steam.
Taylor Calahera is quickly becoming a complete striker in USL Championship, has the ability to stretch and run in behind, but also very soft feet that he can bring in his teammates from underneath. Look for Calahera to apply some real pressure to Miami FC's back line.
For as good as FC Tulsa's been this year, most of their damage has been away from home. What's the catalyst for that?
It's Luke Spencer, and it's Luke Spencer because he has the ability to relate to every single one of his players, to press all the right buttons, to motivate them, and it starts with their defensive set to be really difficult to break through, which allows them confidence and allows their players hyped to feel to be those game changers that they are.
Miami is winless in the last 5 matches against FC Tulsa. They're trying to break that string here tonight. Coming up on their side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's FC Tulsa, Miami FC, coming up next.
Just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
Miami's Little Havana.
Doral.
Little Haiti.
Hialeah.
Wynwood. Coconut Grove.
Kendall.
Calle Ocho.
Sweetwater.
Homestead.
Cortaditos y coladas.
Empanadas y croquetas.
Is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. Bon Bon Boom, suck at something. Macron, become your own hero. And Baptist Health. Starting 11 for Miami FC, led by head coach Gaston Madoni, a 4-2-3-1, making his 14th start of the season. Bolu Akinyoti on the back line for the home side.
Needs to be a really strong game from Bolu Akinyoti because he's going to do a lot of things on and off the ball. On the ball, look for him to step into that middle third and really distribute to allow Miami FC to be really expansive off the ball. He needs to be really good at providing coverage off of his defender.
For FC Tulsa, 4-3-3, led by head coach Luke Spence. At the top of the pitch, Owen Dom.
Owen Dom has the freedom just to go and search a game. Look for him to come century. And if he can get on the ball, expect Taylor Calhera to be really aggressive at really running in behind this Miami FC side. That left side for FC Tulsa, crucial.
Last time these two teams played, you had to go all the way back to June 19th of 2024. Alan Gavilanes scored the opening goal in that match for Miami in the 11th minute. They gave up a couple unanswered goals in the second half and were defeated by FC Tulsa. Count was 2-1. Miami, in this latest run where they winless in 5 straight against FC Tulsa, they are 0-2-3 as this match begins. Miami FC and FC Tulsa, the first of 2 encounters and the first touch as Miami FC, and like he does all season long, Sebastian Blanco in the middle of all of it, speaking to our lead official, John Motto. Blanco, if you have not been following Miami FC all season long, he will consistently be underneath the jersey of the opposing side, but also in the ear of the officials throughout full time.
Sebastian Blanco is that player that if he is on your team, you love him, not only because of his quality.
It's crossing attempt into the box, first entry by FC Tulsa. Miami FC in the blue kits trying to get themselves back into the winning ways. Right now with a 5-7-1 record. FC Tulsa 6-3-3. The difference was last week. FC Tulsa was clinical, drubbing Chattanooga. The Red Wolves got beat 4-1 in soundly convincing fashion. But the other side of things, Gaston Madoni, the head coach for Miami FC, saw his club lose in a Jägermeister Cup bout to Greenville Trout 2-0 in what he called the worst match of the season for his team.
So he's going to look for a response for his side, and it starts with the experience of a Sebastian Blanco, Lucas Milano, Mercado Romero in that central location to be the real engine for Miami FC as we take a look at Gaston Madoni.
He had a heart-to-heart conversation with us about it. He felt like his team was prepared up to the week that was, but they didn't have structure, they didn't have discipline, and they were flat for a full 90, and they were embarrassed. Long throw-in into the 18, moving right back to FC Tulsa, holding the early possession in this contest. When played through, bobbled around, Ricketts will clear it for Miami FC. Lucas Stauffer making his 7th appearance of the year, getting the start this evening. Ball going right back to FC Tulsa.
Just going back to Sebastian Blanco and what he means to Miami FC, he's a player that you love if he is on your team because he's not only the talent that he has, but also the ability to pick and really get underneath the opposition in their skin. When you're off of his team, you hate playing against him. Not only because he's just a nuance to play against and he's just so good, but he continues to walk that fine line within frustrating the opposition, but also the referee.
With over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Miami FC and FC Tulsa, Eastern and Western Conference combatants. FC Tulsa last year only finished with 9 victories. They had 9 victories and 14 defeats and 11 draws. 10th in the Western Conference. But there were high hopes for them coming into this season with not a lot of wholesale player changes, just a lot of stability across the board. Stauffer trying to insert this, gets it back. Stauffer one-touch passing by FC Tulsa. Knutson trying to cover, and he does. This will be a goal kick for Miami FC. Good position there by the defense.
A little bit of a glimpse of how attacking-minded Lucas Stauffer will be from his left-back position. He has the freedom just to come centrally, and that will allow Owen Dom to provide width and be really aggressive. So playing off of the ball for FC Tulsa will be utmost importance in the final third.
It's one of the elements that head coach Luke Spencer mentioned to us earlier this week, that he feels like his team is sound defensively, but they need to create more and also finish. That's the cherry on top.
And it starts with the mobility off of the ball. So Calhera, Delu, Tom, Colley, players like this, if they can really break lines with their movement, now you apply some real pressure on the opposition.
Knudsen, body positioning, but that'll be a common foul. No booking here. We have a moment now here in the 5th minute. Ricky, your keys to tonight's contest. What do we got?
And it starts with Miami FC. You need vertical runs, especially through the outside channels. Vasquez and Milano, look for them to really apply and ask some questions of FC Tulsa's shape. And for Tulsa, getting Taylor Calhera on the ball, 6 goals, 1 assist. He's going to be the focal point of everything going forward for the visitors.
Calhera, the team's leading goal scorer. 6 of them on the year, 3 of them on penalties. Does that tell you anything about this team?
Need to find more different ways to score goals, right? You look at this Tulsa side, 15 goals on the season. Good opportunity here.
Coley on the free kick. Coley, line drive on the ground. Misplayed for a minute. Miami FC fortunate about that. Blanco here. Miami FC 13 goals for, 18 against. Romero on the run. With good pace, Romero. Hesitation. Romero, the chip into the box. One moved away. Ricketts trying to jump up into it. Knudsen offering some support. Below Akinyoti. Over to Mercado. Romero. Blanco. Touch passing going down on that is Lucas Milano. The one element in that loss last week against Greenville Tramp was a lack of enthusiasm, but also possession for Miami. Playing against a USL League One team, I don't know if they were reading the scoreboard and the standings between the two sides, but it was evident from the opening get-go in that match last week that Miami didn't have the fire, and that's uncharacteristic for Gaston Madoni's club. Week in and week out, they always play with passion, and through 90 minutes last week, there was none.
Passion is never in question for Gaston Madoni, just a spirited head coach, and it really translates to every single one of his players. So for him to say that in our conversation, something that he needs to write good move here.
Just outside the 18, over on the left-hand side, FC Tulsa trying to press Ricketts with a fine block. Players colliding at midfield, no whistle, we play on. Sebastian Blanco not happy at all about it. Pushing and shoving. Diallo on the receiving end of this. No numbers for FC Tulsa. Ball played through. Akinyoti there to disrupt it. And Miami FC possession here, despite Miami FC feeling a little bit of heat from FC Tulsa.
Again, Sebastian Blanco giving John Neto, our referee, an earful, getting into it with Sissoko. Our sideline microphone of Luke Spencer catching some words. Very frustrated with how the experienced number 10 for Miami FC has not been shown a card yet through the first 8 minutes here.
Luke Spencer, in his first full year with FC Tulsa, quite the career so far. He was born in Germany, raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Played college ball at Xavier. In fact, just a couple years ago, he was named to Xavier's Hall of Fame. A fantastic professional career as well. He was drafted in 2023 by New England. Played for FC Tulsa, played for Lou City. He's certainly earned his stripes. And at his age, at 37, he's what you'd call, in today's day and age, a player's coach.
Just the ability to relate to every single one of his players because he's been in their shoes, and more importantly, he's succeeded. He's been able to lift trophies, and that is what FC Tulsa wants eventually, to play for trophies, to play deep into postseason. So no better manager than Luke Spencer to really lead this side.
Yeah, won a couple titles with Lou City. In fact, the game-winning goal in the title bout back in 2018, he got MVP honors. It's quite a way to go out. You got that kind of a resume, and now you can point to that sort of accomplishment to your young players, especially a team like this in FC Tulsa that was sub 500 last year, but the expectations have been much higher. They have a lot of stability, especially in the back line.
And done a really good job, and it starts in the offseason of bringing in pieces that have really pushed the standard and the quality to match the investment that comes in off of the field for FC Tulsa.
On the run, but this goes to Miami FC. Try to work quickly on this with Milano. Mercado, he was offside, that's inexcusable. Or Vasquez, I beg your pardon.
Just a bad throw here from Vasquez. Almost sort of jumps when trying to throw this ball in. It's a good call by our AR on the sideline.
Johan Peñaranda in between the pipes today for FC Tulsa. 5-2-3, goals against averages sub-1 at .70. Goals against average is one thing. The save percentage is even better, over 80, .808. Something to marvel for FC Tulsa. And the biggest reason for why they've been so successful this year is keeping opponents off the board. Peñaranda's got 4 clean sheets on the year, and FC Tulsa, a minuscule 9 goals against the season.
Just so difficult to break down this FC Tulsa side. Have a really well-balanced, good ball here.
Played through, good position though with Ricketts, and Miami FC not conceding anything.
Just see how aggressive FC Tulsa has and approach this game. All 10 outfield players in the attacking third, which gives them the ability to recover second balls, which they've done a really good job of doing through Diallo.
Quixote needs to get back quickly. This one, a crossing attempt. Oh, a nice play by Knutson to swipe it away at the last second. Heavy contact inside the 18, and our lead official points the spot. Calhera was in the middle of all of it. And it looks like Harvey St. Clair is down and out for FC Tulsa, but a lot of activity here for FC Tulsa.
It starts with the numbers for FC Tulsa, getting themselves higher up the field, but I want your right side of your screen as St. Clair comes in. Lucas Milano needs to be quicker. Just comes in, takes out the outside back, and to be fair, St. Clair doing a good job at just selling this thing. There is not a lot of contact with that second look, but he goes down. He forces the issue of John Matto, and for 12 yards out we go, and a good chance for FC Tulsa.
Lucas Stoffer is the one that's down for FC Tulsa, but 2 players were in the middle of all that. Stoffer, Calhera, Sebastian Blanco exchanging some pleasantries with FC Tulsa, and Marcos Serrato. One guy that's taking all the damage.
Just want you to watch the right side of your screen. St. Clair doing a good job at just anticipating. He gets it right before Milano, and there is a little bit of after from Milano. Not a lot of contact, but Lucas Stoffer initially gets taken out by Knutson, walking on very gingerly the outside back. Hopefully he's okay to continue on, but just need to be quicker off of your feet if you are Miami FC when trying to clear your lines.
Calhera will take this penalty, a perfect 3 for 3 on the year against Bill Hamid. Hamid has only faced 3 penalties this year. He has stopped 1 of them. The veteran versus the 22-year-old in Calhera. Calhera with the drive. Bill Hamid can't get to it, and it's 1-0 FC Tulsa. Seven up for Calhera. Early on the boards, FC Tulsa.
Sigh of relief for Taylor Calhera. Initially, not the best of pens, as it's in a comfortable position from Bill Hamid. As he guesses right, the goalkeeper just needs to do a better job at keeping his hand a lot firmer. If he does, he just pushes it wide of that near post. You see Taylor Calhera tries to react because he thinks the rebound is coming out. Nearly sneaks underneath Bill Hamid and gives FC Tulsa the lead early on.
Flashes of just a couple days ago with the U.S. men's national team being up against it. And Calhera, his team leading 7th goal of the season. And to FC Tulsa's credit, Ricky, they've been playing on the front foot early on in this contest. They deserved it.
4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw away from home. And we're seeing exactly why for this FC Tulsa side. They've been the aggressor. They've been more threatening of the opposing goal. So good start for Luke Spencer and the team in white.
7 goals on the year for Calhera, 4 of them via the penalty, but they will take it any way that they can. 16 goals now in the year for FC Tulsa during league play. And the goal differential now is up to 7. Knutson. Akinyoti. Lucas Milano. Dalton Knutson with some heavy contact inside the 18. One of them against Lucas Stauffer, leading to that pen. Bill Hamid ever so close to stopping it. But it's all for naught. 1-0 for the road team. FC Tulsa trying to get themselves to 7-3-3. Milano. His crossing attempt is fought off.
Those are the types of movements that Gaston Madoni wants to see on more of a consistent basis as Bonfilio goes through the initial ball. Now the responsibility is on Lucas Milano and Vasquez to make those runs from outside in. Really dangerous set piece here for Miami.
First one of the contests for Miami. Christian Vasquez will take it. Sebastian Blanco to his left. Vasquez, pretty tight wind to it. Pretty good contact, and our lead official points the spot. Bolu Akinyoti was held up on one end, and plenty of anger for FC Tulsa.
Center of your screen right now, there is a handful of Sissoko on Bolu Akinyoti. And Bolu goes down and he sells it really cleverly again from the center back. That is just pure experience from Bolu to give Miami FC the ability to draw this game.
I mean, on any given night at a nightclub here in Miami, that's acceptable. But on the pitch like this, Ricky, come on. So tick for tat. Leading goal scorer for FC Tulsa took the penalty, and now it's Francisco Bonfilio's turn. And Uranda wasn't even ready yet. Peñaranda has not stopped the penalty. 2 attempts against them this year. Bonfilio trying to equalize. He does! Right down Broadway, and we are level at 1 apiece. Early fireworks from both sides of the pitch. Francisco Bonfilio quieting his spell. It's 1-up.
8th on the season for Bonfilio. He takes it so well. If you do elect to go down the middle, you either need to raise it a little bit higher or take enough off of it. Sees Peñaranda go the wrong way and compose finish to draw this game 1-1.
Plenty of fireworks last night, Ricky. I know on your boat. And tonight, an equal amount. This is amazing. 2 goals, both via penalty.
And it's the second time that we've seen a foul directly off of a restart. Super unorthodox to start this game. 18 minutes in, we've seen 2 pens, we've seen 2 very soft fouls given. There is a little bit of contact, to be fair, from Sissoko, as he does have his arms wrapped around Bolu, but very soft from John Mato, our referee.
Over the course of time in a long season, calls like that will even out for each team. Gaston Madoni, to his credit, he mentioned part of his frustrations in that loss last week. Some good contact here. Mercado in the middle of it. So call it when against Miami FC last week, and that loss to Greenville. Sebastian Blanco was on a 3-on-2 run. He was taken out from behind. There was no call outside of a yellow card. Should have been an easy red. Coley will take this. On the free kick, Coley with a chip inside the 18, headed away.
Good box defending there for Miami FC. To win the initial ball and quickly clear the lines, but that's a great ball from Stauffer.
Back on the move, that shot a high riser, but it never had a chance to go on target.
Good opportunity for Owen Dom here just to cut on his preferred left foot and try to find that far post to use momentum to his favor. Just missed it in the end.
Plenty of theatrics early on. Miami FC getting an equalizer. Important for Miami to bounce back with a goal any way they can get it. They were shut out a couple weeks ago in Detroit, 2-0. Losing last week to Greenville, 2-0. Always good to get that goose egg off your shoulder as quickly as humanly possible. See Tulsa trying to apply the pressure. Dom was streaking on the right-hand side. Ball gets to him, watch out. Pretty good contact again. Mercado goes down. For as much chippiness, there has been a lot of activity with our lead official.
Now it's an opportunity for all of these players to understand how tightly John Matto's calling this game. You have to be very clever the challenges you go into and how you go into them, because the last thing you want to do is concede another penalty in this match.
When a match is called tight as it is, like in this case, is it always important for your captain to say a couple words, maybe even not the friendliest to the lead official?
Well, you have to lead and stand up for your team, so that's why we start to see Sebastian Blanco from within the first minute just give John Matto an earful and just continue to have that open line of conversation. But also, more importantly, the captains of these respective teams need to talk to their team and say, we do not leave our feet unless we are 100% sure that we're going to make a play on the ball.
Both these teams conceding a penalty with some decent contact inside the 18. FC Tulsa didn't have scoring prowess last year, same this year, 16 goals on the year, and that goal they just conceded was their 10th on the year. Last year, struggling to put points on the board. For a club last year that finished 10th in the Western Conference, goals were at a premium, goal differential was subpar. Philip Goodburn was a guy that was on the roster last year, but they transferred him out to Lou City.
And he's a player that you need to replace his production. So it's not going to be one individual that does it. It's going to be the collective for FC Tulsa. But through 22 minutes in this game, both of these teams are just struggling to find a rhythm, to connect some passes. It's been really sloppy and very choppy going back to both ends.
But it has been intense, and there has been moments of pressure, particularly for FC Tulsa. The one moment Miami tried to apply a little bit of heat was on a corner kick. And Francisco Bonfilio cashed in with the contact inside the 18. Akinyoti racing to try to get to this, turning the corner. Akinyoti, fine recovery.
Fantastic recovery from Bo Akinyoti. He's a player that you and I and Gaston Modoni were talking about, that he's been just a luxury for Miami FC, the ability to play centrally and just form a relationship with Romero and Mercado, but also due to the injury of Tulu, had to drop in a line deeper, and he gives you ball security, but he also gives you the aggressiveness to step in, but also provide coverage off Knudsen.
USL on CBS kicks off July with a hot show championship Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Calhera and Bonfilio, the two goal scorers so far. It's nice when you highlight two players and then they do something during the first 90 minutes of activity, not worrying about any kind of stoppage time theatrics. Two early goals.
It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
That's right.
Sometimes, right?
Sometimes. Shock myself.
Good ball.
Played in. The header screams over the crossbar.
Fantastic ball here from St. Clair yet again to pick up his set, but I want just you to watch the movement of Delu and Calhera as one goes to the near post, the other one provides that far post presence, so that allows Cauley just to come centrally. Knudsen doing just enough at the last second to throw him off, but those are the types of movements and runs from a deep lying position that you need to see on a more consistent basis for Luke Spencer and FC Tulsa.
Luke Spencer had talked about a couple different things with his squad. One of them was the ability to play with great tempo and pace. He also mentioned one of the areas that he feels like the club can vastly improve on is their ability to score off of set pieces. He felt like the club is great at defending set pieces. Watch out here, a long ball. Ricketts might have got a piece of it. Far side official is going to indicate it's going to be a corner kick.
See the frustration from Bill Hamid, and rightly so, because Akinyoti and Knudsen step up. Ricketts needs to do it in unison. He gets caught about 2 yards behind them, so that gives Owen Dom just the freedom to run in behind. Needs to be better in terms of the positioning for Miami FC.
See what FC Tulsa can deliver on this corner. Coley will take it. Coley looking on. FC Tulsa had the early lead, 1-0 before Bonfilio tied it. And now we got some extracurricular activity back inside the 18. Diallo and Bolo Akinyoti mixing it up. Sissoko in the middle of that as well. Back to Coley. Coley winds this one up towards the back post with some heavy contact. Mercado goes off the heel. Sebastian Blanco. Right back to FC Tulsa. Looking to pursue this ball, kept on the ground. Ball played away. FC Tulsa back to playing downhill. FC Tulsa beating Chattanooga last week. 4-1 was the outcome. Cal Harris scored his team-leading 7th goal across all competitions in the 20th minute. Jamie Weber, the game-winning goal in the 36th minute. Owen Dom picked up a goal late in the second half, but it was all for aesthetics. Christian Vasquez here.
There's no options for Miami FC. As Vasquez picks up, I said Bonfilio is about 5 yards off of him. And just look at your screen right now, how far Sebastian Blanco is, how disconnected he is with Bonfilio. As you play with the true number 10, that relationship between a number 10 and a number 9 is going to be pivotal for the success of your side.
Blanco with a nice intercept. Blanco, blind cross. Bonfilio trying to get to that ball. And a cheap foul here.
And it's just going back to the way. As Sebastian Blanco is into the corner, Bonfilio needs to get goal side of Sissoko. Talk about being connected as a pair. Needs to be quicker to recognize that Bonfilio is a clear foul just because he is late, and Sissoko doing a better job at recognizing that space.
With the amount of space that Miami FC has right now, is that a product of the pressure from FC Tulsa?
FC Tulsa's done a good job at pressing high. But the problem for Miami FC that if they do bypass that initial line, it's more of a direct ball into Bonfilio. And number one, they're not winning that initial ball. And number two, there's a big disconnect again between Blanco and Bonfilio to win the knockdown balls.
Goes off of Ricketts. Stauffer immediately on the restart. Mercado was waiting for it. Vasquez has it. Stauffer draped all over him, and good position for Vasquez to draw that foul.
And this foul is just because there is no movement ahead of Vasquez. He picks up a set, no real options to play into, so he needs to take a second and a third touch, and ultimately Lucas Stauffer fouls him.
I mean, it almost looks like the equivalent of a team right now operating in stick shift in Miami.
Just unable to get out of Tier 1. And again, everything has been in front of FC Tulsa's back line. And one of the keys that Gaston Modoni mentioned to us on our phone calls, they need vertical runs. They need mobility because FC Tulsa is just too good defensively to be comfortable.
As far as the aggression goes, FC Tulsa has had it, but the physicality has been equal on both sides of the pitch. No bookings yet, but a couple penalties being awarded. FC Tulsa trying to get back on the front foot. Bolo Akinyoti continuing to receive high praise from Gaston Modoni, who he feels like is his MVP. If you take out Bonfilio's work on the offensive end of the category, Akinyoti you could probably put anywhere on the pitch and it'll make a difference.
Just a versatility type of player. A true pro, Bolo Akinyoti is.
Pretty good long throw-in for Akinyoti to disrupt it. St. Clair being harassed by Milano. And Miami forces this thing all the way back. Miranda will take it. Pretty good collision at midfield. Francisco Bonfilio, who elevated on that, delivering a type of blow that was heard well up into the press box. Sissoko, who's down in agony.
Just so clever from Sissoko. He wins the initial ball. There is a little bit of extra after it, but Bonfilio, there's no malintent here. Eyes on the ball the whole way. At the last second, just backs in. Then Sissoko, again, that's just an experienced center back doing a good job at drawing a foul.
Sissoko clocks in at 6'3", Bonfilio at 5'11". Sissoko dropped like he was a rock, though. FC Tulsa. Possession. Stoffer and company trying to get themselves back on the board. Play disrupted. Miami FC trying to push the counter. Not a lot of support. And Romero with a bad ball. Play through. Mercado left looking. Vasquez chasing it around. Miami FC doing a lot of defending right now.
Just relentless from FC Tulsa. Good ball.
All the way through with some numbers on the left-hand side. Hamid, fine play to disrupt.
Talk about how aggressive FC Tulsa is in this match. That is center back Arthur Rogers crossing that ball that Bill Hamid does a good job at just sniffing out. Miami FC, again, having a really difficult time just playing in between the lines and breaking the press for FC Tulsa. Just want you to watch the movement of Arthur Rogers. Again, a center back that outruns the whole back line of Miami FC. And when he does get into that foul third, just needs to pull this ball back away from Bill Hamid.
Francisco Bonfilio gave up a little bit on that play, too. Left by his lonesome was Bill Hamid, but a good play, an alert one by Bill Hamid to come off of his line and disrupt that cross. Hydration break, get a look at both penalties in this first half. Executed by the top scorers of each side.
St. Clair, the reaction to get there right before Milano. There is a little bit of contact, but again, just sells it extremely well. The outside back, and Taylor Calahara steps up, makes nervy, and doesn't hit it well, and gives credit to Diogo Jota, rest in peace, the Liverpool star that really shocked the football world. And then again, Sissoko, a handful, the jersey of Bolo Akinyoti. Experience goes down, forces the issue of John Mato, gives a second pen within the first 30 minutes, and Bonfilio buries it.
Bonfilio's first penalty of the season he's converted. Prior to that, he was 0 for 1. Hydration break, not necessarily needed for FC Tulsa, but for Miami FC, Gaston Madoni, you can see him right now at the bottom of your screen, laying into his guys a little bit.
Gaston Madoni, no better time for this hydration break to come into, because they were under it from the get-go, unable to deal with the press. And it starts with, number one, the movement ahead of the ball. You need more from Mercado and Romero just to supply some angles to play in between the lines, but also the decision-making. Whether it is into Bonfilio, Blanco needs to become a little bit more connected underneath him. For FC Tulsa and Luke Spencer, the press is your best friend. Everything that you've done well in the attacking third comes from the ability to press and repress to recover the ball.
Well, we have a moment, USL on ESPN2. Watch July the 11th as West Coast rivals take the field to fight for a valuable Western Conference Championship points. Monterey Bay FC battles California rival Orange County SC. Friday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Light menu today in USL Championship. We've had plenty of activity over the last 72 hours. Ricky and myself, at the end of this opening half, we'll have stats, we'll have Miami FC suffering their first loss in Jägermeister Cup action last week to Greenville Triumph. They have a win in penalties, a win in full time, and also a loss in full time. Vasquez. Romero. Ball's gonna go right back to Miami. Vasquez is in agony right now. And it looks like he's got blood just gushing out from his nose or his mouth. Well, this is something serious for Christian Vasquez. He is bleeding profusely right now on the pitch.
Just watch the left arm of Lucas Stoffer extended away from his body when he does come through it. And the disbelief from the FC Tulsa outside back right here. The left arm catches. The left elbow area looked like initially. I'll give you a better look at it here. Right there through the follow through. I don't think there's any ill will from the outside back, but nonetheless, hard contact to Vasquez's nose area.
Well, they cleaned him up pretty good, doing some neurological exams on the sideline for a concussion. Knutson. No booking as we play on. This match has had just about everything so far. A couple goals. Bookings yet.
Good read. Yeah, that's retaliation there from Vasquez. Knows exactly what he's doing. Knows he's going to get late, so he takes out Owen Dom. And surprisingly, takes our first yellow card of this match. The follow through, Kate takes out the center back, Owen Dom.
Harsh takedown by Vasquez. First yellow tonight for Vasquez and Miami FC. 44 of them on the year. Miami FC has also accounted for 4 red cards on the season. Vasquez, the team's leading assist maker. Gaston Madoni instructing his squad. Said they had a good week of practice, good week of training, everyone on the same page. It was all about resetting. Luke Spencer, feeling his team needs to play their brand of ball coming down to Miami, which is always a difficult spot to acknowledge. The weather, the inclements, whether it's rain, humidity, there's the heat that can be exhausting. DeLue's going to come out of this contest. LA Goldthorpe will check in for him.
Frustration for DeLue as he walks off. A player that Luke Spencer relies heavily on in terms of his chance creation. 2 goals, 1 assist on the season. But as Goldthorpe comes in, a player that is a very talented 1v1 attacking winger, can go at his individual marker, but can also provide quality in the final third. Big challenge for him to get up the tempo here.
He's only played in a couple games since being acquired by FC Tulsa. Hasn't been the start Miami wanted, but now it's about how they finish this opening half. With a hydration break and a couple of harsh fouls, we're definitely going to have some stoppage time added to the end of this opening half. Coley will take this corner. Coley waiting for his teammates to get themselves set up too. Coley, pretty good drive toward the back post, volleyed around. This goes back to Bill Hamid and Miami FC.
Yeah, difficult here for Owen Dom to deal with it as he's backtracking. I think you can do as a player is try to head this back across where it came from, back into traffic.
Goes back to the lack of creativity that Luke Spencer was talking about with this team on set pieces. Not a lot of it there.
Better there from Bonfilio in terms of his hold-up play. And doing that now, he just allows the players underneath him to provide support and ultimately win a foul to reset and gain some real estate higher up the field.
Goldthorpe with the foul.
Good touch here, and good strength, body control, And then it comes down to the decision-making just to continue to control the ball. Goldthorpe trying to backtrack. Really soft right in front of John Matter. You see the disbelief on Elliot Goldthorpe's face.
Goldthorpe added to the organization from Lexington, along with Lucas Stauffer. On the run here, Miami FC trying to get their first lead of this contest. Vasquez can't get to it. Well, Miami wanted to play on the front foot with aggression, more passion, and be the aggressor. They have not delivered on all those to start. FC Tulsa wanted to establish their game early on. They did that, but then gave it right back on a rather difficult challenge inside their 18.
It's been a game about pressing and repressing and which team is going to get in a rhythm quicker, because still through 41 minutes, we have not seen enough of the play in between that midfield line of Miami FC. Blanco, Romero, Mercado, that is the engine for Gaston Modoni when you're playing against a team that is just so good away from home. Good running off the ball here from Owen Dom.
Stauffer saw him. Dom alert on it. This will be another corner kick for FC Tulsa.
Fantastic recognition here from Romero just to drop down as Ricketts comes a little bit too narrow. The responsibility is from the center midfielder just to stay like for like with Owen Dom.
Coley will take this one as well. Miami FC is considered a healthy amount of corners to open up this first half, 5 of them and counting. Playing with fire is the home team. FC Tulsa and Coley here. Coley, high action towards Milano. Some pretty good contact on the far side of the pitch, and no whistle and no call.
It's in that back post area targeted by Coley. Sissoko goes down far too easy, just looking for it. Nothing in it whatsoever. At some point, if you are John Matsu, yes, there is a lot of contact, but you have to start either having conversations or start to flash your yellow card just because players are starting to simulate and try to get a card or call in their favor.
It's twice now Sissoko has done that. Once with Bonfilio around, the other with Milano. Akinyoti will allow Bill Hamid to play this on a goal kick. And in the first half, we'll have our Macron halftime report with stats and highlights and some news and notes. Take a look around USL Championship on a light menu today. Ricketts trying to hold his ground. More physicality. Both benches rather excited about talking to our lead official in any kind of language. Amana's been a busy man today.
Just see how high, in terms of the pressing, that FC Tulsa is electing to go to. That's those two forwards, their midfield line in the attacking third. So if you are Miami FC, in particular, Sebastian Blanco is at the bottom of your screen right now. He needs to do a better job at just playing and making himself available in between lines. Because if you can get him on the half turn, the whole game will start to open up, especially with how vertical Milano and Vasquez are needed to be under Gaston Modoni.
This football game has turned into a North American football game. It feels like action for 10 seconds, then a whistle.
Stop and start, no real rhythm through the game on the field, but also too many whistles.
Every time there's any kind of contact, the opposing side throws up their arms in disagreement with their lead official. On the run, Milano. Bonfilio's on the left-hand side. Milano, the crossing attempt, nobody in blue, and Bonfilio just gives him a dead look.
The first time that we've seen Lucas Milano doing a good job at making that vertical run, but once he does get into that final third, he needs to pick up his head and pick out a blue jersey. Because as the backline for FC Tulsa, they're retreating. Bonfilio really cleverly just stops his run and creates a little bit of separation. With the talent, with the experience, and the success that Lucas Milano had at the MLS level, he needs a better end product.
Arthur Rogers. Limited activity last year. Was an injury-ridden season for Rogers in 2024. 15 appearances this year. This is his 11th. Keep an eye on our 4th official to see how much stoppage time we are afforded. Temperatures at kickoff about 86 degrees. It was and still is humid, right around 70%. The weather in South Florida has been a bit erratic, but rumor has it it's hurricane season, so these things are natural.
Surprised no European summer for you.
No, I couldn't get your boat out of the out of the slip from down in South Florida, Miami. So stuck here in North America for a few days, right? 8 minutes of added time. It hasn't been the prettiest of halves for Miami, but if they can walk away into the halftime locker room dead even at 1 apiece, and they'll feel good about themselves. Calhera opened up the scoring for FC Tulsa on a penalty. Bonfilio equalized with a penalty of his own. Good play by Sissoko. Here comes FC Tulsa. Goldthorpe, good coverage by Matrano. Lost on that ball though. Goldthorpe, the header, he scores! Going where the ball will be placed, and Goldthorpe comes off the sideline and makes an instant impact. 2-1 FC Tulsa.
Fantastic recognition here from Elliot Goldthorpe to understand that you have St. Clair off of your shoulder, so you just need to get yourself in between both center backs. Knutson, Akinyoti, and Ricketts need to do a better job at just providing coverage off of one another. If Akinyoti gets pulled out, Ricketts needs to come centrally, because that is far too easily for Elliot Goldthorpe to get on the end of this service and do a good job at just redirecting this ball.
Alejandro Matrano was left spinning around on the right-hand side, leaving his entire back line for Miami FC looking to mark another player. Goldthorpe on the board late in this opening half. So much for warm-ups. His first goal as a member of FC Tulsa, and they got the advantage again, 2-1. More damaging contact here. This will be a booking. Serrato with the yellow. It's the first one of this half for FC Tulsa. Serrato doesn't like the ruling.
It's also the first time that we've seen Miami FC really play in between the lines as he comes through the backside of Vasquez. Yes, it's a foul. No question whatsoever. But to see yellow for that, around the halfway line, see the frustration for Serrato.
Calhera, the 7th of the year. Goldthorpe is first as a member of FC Tulsa. Bonfilio for Miami FC. 3 goals scored in this opening half. Miami came into this affair slight underdogs. FC Tulsa been one of the better teams throughout USL Championship on the road. Bonfilio was dragged down.
If you're going to give a yellow card to Serrato, you need to give Owen Dom a yellow card here. And that is a consistency that's going to frustrate not only coaches but players on the field, because now they don't really know where that line is. As you see, the right arm of Owen Dom just dragged down Bonfilio, doing a better job at just being more active in terms of his movement as a lone striker.
Another member for FC Tulsa down. This thing has turned into a street fight. We've seen blood from the nose of Vasquez. Dom dragged down Bonfilio. A couple yellow cards.
Sissoko in this back line of FC Tulsa, irate, and talking to our assistant referee. Right on the ball right now. Romero, extends his arm and just catches Lucas Stauffer in the throat area. In the end, picks up a red card and leaves Miami FC at a disadvantage.
That is unbelievable. Romero with red. his night is over with. Michael Lawrence not playing tonight for Miami FC. He picked up a yellow a couple weeks ago, and then a second one late against Detroit.
Just want you to watch right where the ball is being placed. The right arm of Romero as Lucas offers over it. You cannot do that. You cannot extend your arm, especially around that neck area. There's communication between John Matto and his assistant referee. Goes down and you just see Lucas offer continuing to get worked on. Just no need for Romero. If you're going to push him towards that stomach area, when you raise your arm up that high, you run the risk.
So Romero to the showers. 5 red cards on the year for Miami FC. 5 of them.
A team that is finding it very difficult, not only
on the free kick. Vasquez, soft, goes through one legs of Rickett to nobody else. And FC Tulsa switching the pitch momentarily.
to finish that thought for Miami FC, not only to adapt through the different type of game models that we see in USL Championship, but also mentally.
Yeah.
With everything in the adversity, the inconsistency that comes with the travel, what's a foul, what's not a foul. Have to just get on with it. You cannot allow yourself to lose your cool and leave your side at a disadvantage. Down a goal right before halftime. And you leave your side down a man as well. Just not good enough for Romero.
Miami FC lost to Detroit a couple weeks ago. Michael Lawrence picking up a red card in that. At that point, Miami was down 1-0. They conceded a late goal and were beat 2-0. Blanco here, the cross. Bonfilio was marked, but he has it now. Gave it up to Ricketts. Ricketts trying to elude 2 defenders. Nice play, though. This would be a corner for Miami.
Fantastic opportunity here for Miami FC just to draw this game even in the 52nd minute. You're looking for quality in terms of the service from Vasquez. Crucial that he beats that first man at that near post area.
Vasquez towards the back post, unmarked was Knudsen. He could not put it on target. Milano with good energy to recover here. Milano kept this ball on the ground. FC Tulsa with the numbers and now looking to counter. Akinyoti, slight hesitation, gets that ball back. Some contact up over the shoulder area, and Blanco's now down. St. Clair, he's looking on, and he's on his wallet, but Blanco right now in some agony.
Good ball in from Vasquez to that far post area. Knudsen trying to head it back into traffic. Good job from FC Tulsa, just clearing their lines and going back the other way. The left arm of St. Clair is extended away from his body. It's difficult to see if there was enough contact that Sebastian Blanco goes down.
FC Tulsa a bit excited about some slight pushing from Blanco. Chip from Blanco inside the 18. Ricketts to settle it, Akinyoti. Miami FC with some touches, but nothing threatening. And now all the way back to Bill Hamid. Miami FC desperate now to get some kind of offense, down a player at the end of this opening half. 8 minutes of added time. This will be the final sequence for Miami if they can do anything with it. Some more heavy contact by Lucas Milano. No booking here, but our lead official blows the halftime whistle, and the teams will go to the respective corners, Ricky, because this thing was a scrap.
Everything but soccer between FC Tulsa and Miami FC. Really difficult for Gaston Madoni and Luke Spencer to just find their sides in a rhythm. It was really physical. It was stop-start. So really important halftime tackles for Gaston Modoni, and it starts with the players of Miami FC just to clear their heads and let all their live football do all the talking.
Opening half, going to FC Tulsa. Kyle Harris scored a goal, his team leading 7th on the year. Goldthorpe as well. He scored in the 46th minute of play. Halftime, folks. FC Tulsa on the road leading Miami FC. 2-1 is the score. We'll be back.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
We're back here live, South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium. A gorgeous Saturday night. If you folks enjoying the first half of play, FC Tulsa 2-1 over Miami FC. The Eastern Conference standings right now, Ricky, not comfortable for Miami. They're amongst the top teams. Action. One more game for all the teams in USL Championship and also in League One before they head to the next round. We've got time now. Goals and save of the week in USL Championship. Fellas, take it away.
It's Cabral! Oh, what a fantastic goal! That is spectacular from the Brazilian.
Attack for Birmingham. Back post, Damas plays it across, and Salt closes the door.
What a save.
That should have been 1-0. Birmingham Salt.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water unique? It's our commitment to making our bottles from at least 50% recycled plastic. In fact, Crystal Geyser is the only beverage company in the U.S. to exclusively own and operate 2 plastic recycling facilities. And you can help us make an impact too by always remembering to recycle your bottles. Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Simple, but not easy.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Off to the races for Monterey Bay to Florida.
Warren takes the shot. A banger to put Orange County up 3-1.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Hanging out here, Pitbull Stadium, Macron halftime report. We are happy you are back. FC Tulsa had a 1-0 lead. Miami tied it. And then late in the opening half, Elliot Goldthorpe tied it, made it 2-1. So FC Tulsa with the advantage. Take a look now at some news and notes around USL Championship. Oakland Roots doing some stuff.
Yeah, really good news for the Oakland Roots and USL Championship as a whole continue to push the standard as they will make their former Oakland Raiders headquarters their training facility to signing a long-term extension. And then you talk about Albert Dikwa, Charlie Dennis, both scoring hat tricks, and the rich get richer with Jeremy Kelly signing for Charleston Battery and Ben Pierman. They have a really big game tomorrow on CBS Sportsnet against NCFC.
Take a look at the scores in the week that was. Anything that pops out at you?
Now, the City going into Widener Field. Philip Goodrum scoring his 8th on the season. They take down the reigning champs who are having a really difficult time this season in 2025. And Pittsburgh continuing to turn the corner as they take down league-leading Western Conference New Mexico 1-0.
San Antonio doing some work against El Paso. More on all this as we go around USL Championship. Sacramento 2-0 over Las Vegas. Birmingham and Rhode Island 1 apiece right now. And then later on tonight, you got Detroit and Oakland Roots. We got some stats and some highlights right around the corner, so you got a moment in time to grab a refreshment or two as well. Don't go anywhere. FC Tulsa with the lead, 2-1.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral. Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Macron. Become your own hero. Bon Bon Boom, suck at something. Baptist Health. And Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. FC Tulsa with a 2-1 lead over Miami FC with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I am David Gascon. Thank you for hanging out with us. FC Tulsa having their way with Miami in the opening half. They got the theatrics started early in this one with some good contact in the 18.
Lucas Milano really slow to react here. St. Clair doing a good job at just initiating the contact and drawing the foul. Bill Hamid's going to want this one back. It's not a well-taken pen from Calhera. Guesses the right way, but not enough strength on his hand to push it wide. And you see the celebration, RIP Diogo Jota for Liverpool. And then going back the other way, you just see Sissoko wrapping around Bola Kinyoti. Is it a makeup call? Is it not a makeup call? But 12 yards out we go. Bonfilio makes no mistake about the pen as Penaranda goes the wrong way. He takes a little bit off of it, raises it high. And that's exactly what you need to do if you go down the center of the goal on a pen. Going back the other way, fantastic recognition here from Delu. Even better ball from St. Clair. Right over the crossbar, Bill Hamid's.
Good indication of the pressure that FC Tulsa had in the opening half against Miami. And the luck came their way again late.
Yeah, a bit of a broken up play for FC Tulsa. Ball goes wide. Elliot Goldthorpe does a good job at just continuing his run, and no one picks him up. And the way that he generates enough power, just snaps it over his left shoulder to find that far post. Great goal for Goldthorpe to give FC Tulsa the 2-1 lead walking into halftime.
And mixed in with all of that, Matias Romero, he's done for the day. He picked up a a red card in the first half. So his day is over with. FC Tulsa with the lead, with the advantage, all the numbers except for possession going their way. And they're up a player as well.
And if you are Luke Spencer, you don't need a lot of the ball to be effective, as you've shown, especially on the road coming into this contest. 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and they have not missed a beat here at Pitbull Stadium. This is the red card of Romero. The arms are extended away from his body, catches Lucas Stauffer in that throat area. There is a conversation with John Matthew and his assistant referee on the sideline. Gets shown red. Good job and experience, again, comes out from FC Tulsa as they go down and make the most of it.
Was that red harsh? You're a pretty fair guy. I feel like you're fair. I mean, not during Halloween season.
Let's just say there's VAR in USL Championship. That's a yellow card.
All right, fair enough.
But still, if you are Romero, there's no need to extend your arm that high. If you do extend your arm that high now, it all comes down to the decision-making of the referee. And unfortunately, John Matthew says it is a red card, and now Miami FC down a man.
If you are Gasta Madoni, what do you tell your team prior to getting out into the field in the second half?
Just need to get on the ball, and it starts again with Mercado and Blanco, the 2 players that will play century, but now a little bit of a tactical shift. Bullock and Yodi will push up a line higher.
Blanco looking for a lane to Vasquez on the run. Christian had to pick up the tempo just to keep that ball, but he cannot do so. It's a tough ball by Blanco. Different surface, he can get away with it, but not on this turf here in Miami. FC Tulsa, 4-1-1 on the road, looking for more here. They have the numbers. top of the box. Goldthorpe, who had a goal in the first half, would love a second one. FC Tulsa 3-0-2 in their last 5 against Miami.
Tactically, we're seeing Miami FC shift into a 3-back system. Bolo Akinyoti going to slot higher next to Mercado, and then you have Blanco ahead of them. So the positioning of Bolo and the recognition when to drop in and make that line of 4, but also when to be aggressive in possession is going to be everything if Miami FC wants to claw themselves back into this game.
Blanco lost his footing, lost it again, and finally looks at our lead official and says, bail me out here, sir. St. Clair not happy about it.
And if you do get the ability to apply pressure and win a set ball, and Sebastian Blanco goes down as St. Clair comes across, you have to take advantage of it. So needed quality here from the former Portland Timber.
Blanco has been chirping all night long to anyone that'll listen. Blanco here on the right-hand side, looking for Akinyoti, who did not elevate for that ball.
Just misreads a flight, Bolo Akinyoti. Not once does he look up and tries to locate where this ball is going to land. It's a really good ball in. He thinks it's over him. So now Jonathan Ricketts needs to make that secondary run in the end. You see the frustration from Blanco.
Bolo Akinyoti is 6'2". Good service by Blanco.
Is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
FC Tulsa led 1-0, tied 1-1, back to 2-1 before the end of the first half. Now up a player with Romero picking up red. Couple questions surrounding Luke Spencer's squad. How do they take this second half? No changes for FC Tulsa to begin this second stage. If you're Luke Spencer, what's the message?
Try to get the third. Try to put this game to bed sooner rather than later. So expect FC Tulsa to continue to be aggressive within their repress and on the ball to take advantage.
Rogers glides this over. Good penetration, the cross. Oh, they just missed the connection at the last moment. Calhera knew it, thumbs up, but unfortunate for him, thumbs are down.
Fantastic recognition from St. Clair to be really aggressive at just pushing the tempo. Calhera needs to do better with this. Just stabs at it. When you are a striker in that position, you just need to make clean contact with the ball and redirect it.
Akinyoti pulled on the jersey, and now he will see yellow.
The last thing you need for Gaston Madoni and Miami FC is to have Bolo Akinyoti see yellow. Gets caught a little bit too high. Calhera plays in between the line, and it's a right foot. Just clips the heels of Taylor Calhera. Big test and big challenge for Bolo Akinyoti in terms of his positioning and decision-making off the ball.
The red card in the first half for Romero. Couple yellows for Miami and one for FC Tulsa in the opening half. St. Clair towards the back post. Mercado has it. Nifty move inside his 18. And Miami FC trying to push the counter.
Top left of your screen. Lucas Milano all alone. Excuse me, Sebastian Blanco, that is. Especially when you are down a man, you need to come ball side. You need to be able to supply some support to play into. Just no pocket presence right now for Miami FC. Left side of your screen, Bonfilio, surrounded by 4 FC Tulsa players. Really difficult, number one, to find him, but also just to generate any attacking opportunities.
Lack of urgency for Miami. Team's leading striker being double, triple, and quadruple teamed. Means somebody's open, even if you're down a player.
And this FC Tulsa side is very comfortable with just allowing Miami FC to get on the ball in this location. About 40 to 50 yards away from their defensive goal. The only thing that Luke Spencer does not want to happen is Miami FC to play through them. They can play in front of them, they can play around them. And that is a sign of a very good defensive side, as we've seen in FC Tulsa.
It puts a button on what you mentioned about pushing the ball and the tempo, especially when you have a guy like Blanco on the opposite side of the pitch that's wide open.
You just need to be quick. You need to be decisive. The ball needs to do all of the work for Miami FC. And if you do elect to play direct, that is fine, but you need more presence to win second balls. That is going to be the way that you can really claw yourself back into this game. If not, the two center backs of FC Tulsa are just going to win every 50-50 duel.
More collision between Ricketts and Goldthorpe. Both combatants picking themselves up. Fouls are pretty much even across the board, 11 apiece. Miami with 2 yellows and a red. FC Tulsa with 1 yellow card. A lot of venom towards our lead official. FC Tulsa trying to press on the right-hand side. Good breakup at the last minute. St. Clair was denied an opportunity. Vasquez, fine job marking.
The two outside backs for FC Tulsa have been really active, whether it is St. Clair, Lucas Staffero, and Dom. All players very comfortable with the ball at their feet, but and very good in terms of providing quality service.
See where St. Clair goes with this. He's looking one way. It's towards the 18 inside. It goes right to Bill Hamid. The best of efforts from St. Clair. Hamid trying to push this thing down for Bonfilio, who has it. They're trying to dump this off to Milano. That ball didn't have enough pace to it. The first half that saw Miami on edge a bit, conceding a goal early to Calhera on a penalty. They equalized in the 17th minute, then conceded late in the first half. Losing a player, they're stuck in mud right now. Miami in danger of falling to 5-8-1 on the year. They've really been Jekyll and Hyde when you look at how they performed throughout the season. In fact, you go through their latest run of matches, their last 10, they're 5-4-1 when you talk about USL Championship. It's a young team, but that tells you a couple of things. One is they don't have stability just yet, and also they're still learning how to win and play together.
Still learning how to adapt to USL Championship as well. And you look what Gaston Madoni's been able to do in the offseason, bring in a lot of new faces. From top to bottom, the club has really shifted things around. And in doing that, you needed to create a new culture. You needed to create a new identity, how you wanted to play and approach games. So yes, there is going to be consistency in terms of the performances, the ups and downs, and the little minute details. But yet there's just too much talent on this roster to not at least make the playoffs for Miami FC.
Ricketts, with possession, could have done a lot more with that ball. Didn't need to hurry that ball inside the 18 either. Bonfilio clearly marked by 3 different players from FC Tulsa, and this ball goes harmlessly into Piñaranda.
You need to lift this ball. Bypassing that first line of defense, that near post area, it's attacking 101 when you do get into that final third.
There have been long stretches throughout this season where Miami has played with a healthy amount of confidence. But over the last 3 weeks, it's been lacking, and it's been apparent. At Detroit, home last week against Greenville, now it's carried over here against FC Tulsa.
2 wins, 3 losses in the last 5 for Miami FC and Gaston Madoni. And what makes it a little bit more frustrating for the head coach is there's been glimpses of how good they have been. Look at the last couple games here at home. You took down Charleston Battery, which is one of the top teams, not only in the Eastern Conference, but USL Championship as a whole, and you scored a fantastic team goal. So the quality is there for this side, but you just need to continue to see on a consistent basis, as we see St. Clair pick up a yellow card, the second for FC Tulsa. Nice little nutmeg here from Vasquez right through the legs. A lot of contact there from St. Clair. No need to try to win the ball. Him and Serrato, the two players in the book.
The silver lining with where Miami is right now is they know that they have the ability to beat the upper tier teams in the USL Championship. Loudoun United and Charleston Battery, San Antonio as well. But the bad news in all of this is that week in and week out, if they continue to play up or down to the level of competition, they won't be amongst the top 8 at the end of the year to qualify for the postseason. Vasquez, who was dragged down again. Miami's provided a little bit more fight here in the second half, but they have lacked quality towards the opposition's goal. FC Tulsa has conceded 10 goals on the year. And that includes tonight, the one they surrendered earlier with Bonfilio's penalty. But their body of work, 12+ matches and only surrendering 10 goals. That's a healthy trend for a team that wants to be there to represent the Western Conference in the title game at the end of this year. Goldthorpe looking, probing. That ball went off of Matrano, played away by Ricketts. And that'll be a throw in for FC Tulsa.
Good recognition from Ricketts here, because as they have 3 in the back, now it all comes down to decision making and positioning from individual defenders, understanding when to just clog passing lanes, but also when to go man v man inside the defensive 18-yard box.
See Rogers take this. FC Tulsa hasn't played with a great sense of urgency here in the second half, looking for a 3rd goal. Been more calm, not trying to get beat on anything cheap from Miami FC over the top. And at the same time, they have thrown everybody at Francisco Bonfilio that they can imagine that will mark him. If there's one guy that can't beat FC Tulsa, it is number 9 for Miami's blue and black. Bonfilio with 8 goals now, leading Miami FC. He's also had a great deal of victory against the USL Championship clubs in the Jägermeister Cup and also in USL Championship, the US Open Cup. That was short-lived as they were bounced by Indy 11 in the 3rd round. Still got more work to do in the Jaeger Cup. 1 game to remain, but they're right now, they don't control their destiny. Pace has slowed down. That favors FC Tulsa. Miami down a player and did not make any changes to begin the second half. Gaston Madoni will have to go to his reserves to pick up some energy.
Just no real urgency right now for FC Tulsa. Already up a goal on the road. Really professional to start this second half for Luke Spencer and his side.
Nice move by Vasquez. He was taken out though. Not happy with the ruling as Rogers was the guilty party.
The 3rd time in this second half in the last 5 minutes or so that we've seen Christian Vasquez get drawn down, showing a little bit of skill, ability to get out of tight spaces. Good first touch, comfortable, and 1v1 ability. Arthur Rogers with a clear foul, just clipping of the heels as we see Hoyos come in.
Hoyos has only played in a handful of games this season for Miami. He has scored 1 goal. Comes in for Sebastian Blanco. Training camp right around the corner for the Miami Dolphins. Hoyos could be there to protect Tua Tagovailoa. You never know. Of course, you never know. He could qualify for a contract with the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, too. He could be on the blue line protecting Matthew Tkachuk and the Panthers, looking for a 3-peat. You could put Hoyos anywhere.
Talking about Bolo being versatile.
Yes, that's right. You know, Miami Marlins need a bat or 2, right? Giancarlo Stanton's not walking through that door anymore. He's with the New York Yankees. List goes on and on, Ricky.
The world is Hoyos' oyster.
You did not just do that. You just did not do that. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I am shocked. 62nd minute. Hoyos, the one change. This one into the box, leveling up. Knutson couldn't get to it. That ball on the opposite end of the pitch. Stopper with good agility. And this one will play to FC Tulsa's advantage on a corner kick.
Just so much talent again for the wide parts of the field for FC Tulsa. The ability to work up and down, but also provide quality through their service, combination play. Luke Spencer's done a really good job at making this roster with the ability to give different looks to their opposition.
Patrick Segrist will check into the contest. Calhera departs. With Calhera leaving in this junction of the match, does that have more to do with the fact that FC Tulsa is up a goal and also playing up a player?
100%. You have to think, number one, man management for Luke Spencer. El Medcar, not an out number 9. He's going to give you a little bit more security and ball retention in between lines. But this is all about trying to see this result out for FC Tulsa and also not allowing your star striker to get into anything off of the ball or anything silly.
Weber here on the corner, just entered the contest. Knutson with fine positioning here to intercept and try to flick the pitch for FC Tulsa. Three changes for Luke Spencer. Khalil Elmed Kahar comes in along with Jamie Weber and Patrick Segrist. Those are the three changes. Coley is out. It was sharp, especially on corner kicks. Calhera scoring his team-leading 7th goal of the season in the opening half. He departs. A 2-1 lead for FC Tulsa after this contest. They have Las Vegas on tap, but another foul here.
Last thing that you want to have happen if you are FC Tulsa and Luke Spencer is just to continue to draw fouls. No need for Weber to try to win that ball because you have Diallo right there applying a secondary defender. Just gives Miami FC the ability to put this thing into the mixer and cause a little bit of chaos right in front of Peñaranda and his back line.
Here's Mercado. Mercado, pretty good drive, but didn't get enough elevation on it. Ball stays with Miami. The chip to the right-hand side, pretty good contact. A bicycle kick attempt was missed. The second one counts. There's the equalizer from number 9, Francisco Bonfilio. Where did that come from? Number 9's finest moment for Miami. He comes in Panamac mode, and Miami levels this thing up at 2-2.
But you have to give credit to Hoyos. As a sub, you're coming into this game to give something that was lacking. Notice the strength, how he just holds off Patrick Segrist, and what that does, that allows Bonfilio to react quicker than every single player in an FC Tulsa jersey. The hold-up play just causing chaos and sticking with it, and it's instinctual from Bonfilio. A striker's goal through and through. Doesn't think much about it, just roofs it, and no chance for Peñaranda. Miami FC, draw even.
Wow, shocking events here for Miami. 3 changes made by FC Tulsa, and Gaston Madoni's top striker is continuing to bail them out on the regular. 9 goals now in the year for number 9, And we are level at 2-2. Hoyos in the middle of all of it again.
And it's the third time that we've seen a foul on a restart. FC Tulsa play it back, and Miami FC get whistled for a lot of contact when trying to press the ball.
Anything could happen, and Miami down a player, get themselves in the good graces. Francisco Bonfilio, again, 9 goals and counting. Not a bad move by Hoyos to come in, as you mentioned, the positioning for him, making a difference against Segrist. Hoyos only playing in his 3rd game of the year. Knutson trying to force this off. Weber will take another corner.
But he is a player that Gaston Madoni always elects to turn to when you need a spark, with the work rate, with the physicality. That will be never in question from Hoyos. The way that he scored his only goal this season, just off of his work rate, create something out of nothing, and that is fantastic attitude to have, and you need a player like that within your locker room.
You see him taking deep breaths. He is huffing and puffing. Weber here. Low line drive, the header goes off the mark. A good indication of what Hoyos is doing. I mean, he's only been playing into the second half, but he's exhausted. Dejan Varon, Nicholas Cardona will come in now. Varon will replace Lucas Milano. Second and third changes for Gaston Madoni. Vasquez will depart. Valiant effort by Christian. Cardona will replace him. Of course, Miami wants to walk away with 3 points. But if they can find a way to steal 1, that is a huge victory for them.
Due to everything that has gone into the first 68 minutes of this game, especially with these subs for Gaston Madoni, he's just trying to set up shop. Cardona's going to come in, he's going to pop into that back line, and you bring in a midfielder, especially for Verón as well. He's going to sit right next to Mercado and just try to muck up the game. The name of the game now for Miami FC is winning second duels, winning your individual battles, and just clearing your lines. No risk needed, especially when trying to play out of the back. Expect them to play direct. And you need a big effort for the remainder of this game from that young man, Bonfilio, just to hunt down every 50-50 ball and just slow the game down and take it away from FC Tulsa.
More to the point with Bonfilio, there's times throughout the season where your club will have no right to be winning or taking any points, but you have a wild card, whether it's a keeper that comes up with a couple huge saves. Bill Hamid did that earlier this year a couple times, one of them at Rhode Island, another against Tampa Bay. And tonight, Bonfilio pops out of nowhere, converts on the penalty, and that equalizer a few minutes ago. There's a lot of chaos inside the 18, and a ball will find a striker's foot, and it did there.
Just so good from Bonfilio, and he's a player that Miami FC brought to produce moments like that, to be the game changer. You and I had the conversation to speak with some of the front office ahead of the season and say the talent that they've seen from this young man, whether it is in training, in preseason, whether it was in video, that he should be contending for the MVP. That's how highly Miami FC rates Francisco Bonfilio, with 9 goals now on the season, starting to make some noise, especially in this Eastern Conference.
The recognition will come for guys like Bonfilio, but it's always with air quotes. Is your team good enough? Are you doing all the lifting yourself? Is the team competitive? Yes or no? If the team starts winning and gets amongst the discussion of the top 2, 3, or 4 teams, then you'll have a bona fide conversation about Bonfilio being an MVP candidate.
I think it's a massive correlation between a player getting that type of recognition and the team continuing to get results on a consistent basis. If he continues to stick the ball in the back of the net, it won't be any coincidence that we see Miami FC make a real run at the playoffs.
Bonfilio's equalizer is the brace. And it's supporting Miami's cause right now to steal at least a point. They can find a way to get a 3rd goal here. It'd be one of those signature wins that Miami has pulled off this year. Against Loudoun United, against Charleston, on the road at San Antonio. They have 5 victories, 7 defeats, and a draw. Vaudon will take this corner. Vaudon, pretty good chip into the middle. Pretty around though in blue for Miami. Ball goes back to Vaudon. Ambitious, lofted up. Heavy contact near the 6.
Knutson has every right to challenge for this ball. It's a 50-50 ball, whether it is with a goalkeeper or a player. Notice how he approaches it. Just tries to go up and reach and challenge for it. There's nothing in that. That is not a foul. You just see the disbelief on Knutson's face.
Put on, drive from outside, blocked. Suzuku got in front of it. It's been a hard night for everybody, including our lead official, Knutson. Got in front of that. Around Metrano, able to intercept.
Starting to become a little bit sloppy for FC Tulsa. And the attacking third, unable to connect simple passes.
A bad ball, Goldthorpe outside.
It's always interesting, David, when a team goes up a player in terms of the mentality, right? Because coaches are going to want them to continue to push the tempo, to continue to go within the momentum. But as a player, now complacency starts to creep in, right? Because you know you have that man advantage. So in theory, you should have more time and space on the ball, which that now has players taking an extra touch, a third touch, and being a little bit slower, but it's actually the opposite.
To the right-hand side, FC Tulsa penetrating here. Akinyoti comes out, shot blocked. Akinyoti and Mercado. Hoyos, more effort from him.
And it's actually the opposite what players need to do. If you do have a man advantage, you need to use it. And in doing that, the ball needs to move quicker. You need to be more decisive. You need to be cleaner to make your opposition chase from side to side, because once they do, the gap will start to open up. And that's what we're starting to see with FC Tulsa. They've been at their best when players are moving quick, when it's clean. It starts to break down when they're too complacent.
To the right-hand side, they have some numbers here. Oh, Bill Hamid large. Great stop by Hamid. The rebound to the top of the box. Bonfilio had it for a moment. Miami FC trying to escape.
Just coming off the heels of exactly what I was talking about for FC Tulsa. When the ball's moving quick, when there's movement ahead of the ball, that is when they're at their best. You need a better first touch if you are Goldthorpe here. Notice how he gets caught underneath him, which doesn't allow him to open up his hips and just pick out a corner. Almost stabs at it and goes down centrally into Bill Hamid. Give credit to the goalkeeper, how quickly he comes off of his line to make himself big.
Cuts down the angle against Goldthorpe, who was looking for a brace. Remember that one here in the 74th minute. Make sure you stay with us at the end of this contest. We will have our Cricket Wireless Man of the Match. A couple of early contestants for Miami. I'm going to throw in a wild card too in Kevin Hoyos.
Just the effort. Never question the effort from Hoyos, what he's been able to do and mean for this Miami FC side, especially in this game.
While we have a moment, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Couple changes for Gaston Madoni in the second half. They've paid off. For Luke Spencer, they have it. Team's leading scorers also watching the rest of this match from the bench. Calhera with a goal in the opening half. denied in the second half with just a miss hit on a timely spot inside the 6. That would have made it 3-1 for FC Tulsa. Moments after that, Bonfilio with the equalizer. So Miami has recovered. They're not playing on level footing, but most important thing is the scoreboard's 2-2. We get a time to break. Take a look at the goals throughout this entire affair. This is how things opened up for Miami. A bit of bumper cars, if you will.
And St. Clair goes out looking for it. Bill Hamid needs to do better here because he guesses. He does all the hard work, but nearly pushes it towards his far post. You see the celebration for FC Tulsa, and then Sissoko center of your screen right around that penalty mark. Handful around Akanyoti, and that's just an experienced center back going down and forcing the issue for Jean Mato. Good pen from Bonfilio as he goes central. Peñaranda guesses the wrong way, and then back the other way. Something out of nothing, almost a broken play for FC Tulsa. Elliot Goldthorpe, middle of your screen. Notice how he plays in between Ricketts, Knutson, and Akanyoti. Just the cleverness of spacing and a textbook header to generate enough power. And then as a sub, you need to impact this game however you can. Polio is almost wrestling with Patrick Seekers and just causes a little bit of chaos as his ball pinballs around. The first to react is Bonfilio. Notice how he's on his toes. Every single player in FC Tulsa gets caught ball watching. 2-2. Remainder 15 minutes here.
Bonfilio with 9 goals and counting on the season for Miami FC, who are trying to get themselves out of the brink and depths of losing 3 straight across all competitions. And that man, Gaston Madoni, has to be encouraged about the response of his team, despite losing Matias Romero to a red card in the opening half. But as the late, great Kobe Bryant said one time, job's not finished. And Miami's still got more work to do.
We brought every sport into this broadcast. Basketball, hockey, football.
Not your favorite sport, tennis, though. Not brought that in yet.
We have not.
We'll find a way. If there's anything that you and the great broadcaster Josh Eastern have taught me, is figure a way to get everything in.
Stop it.
It's like a fire sale. Everything must go. Well, Miami wanted to do something different here in the second half, and part of it was just getting enough penetration into the attacking third against FC Tulsa. They found a way to do that with some changes. Kevin Hoyos came in as the one change to begin the second half, and they continued to play with the ball, something they didn't do a lot of in the first 45 minutes of play, and they were rewarded. Here they are in the attacking third again. Bonfilio was asking for it. Sissoko had marked him, but they were still a couple feet away from each other.
And this second half, since coming out of halftime for Gaston Madoni and Miami FC, is a really interesting one, because this is a type of performance that can really build character and build a culture within the locker room. The first half, by no stretch of the imagination, if you are Luke Spencer or Gaston Madoni, was nearly the best of your teams can play. But in the second half, specifically Miami, they've shown grit, they've shown a togetherness, and they've shown the ability to deal with adversity. Going down a man, going down against a team that not a lot of teams have broken through in FC Tulsa. Coming into this game, only 9 conceded. 4 wins out of 6 on the road. Only 1 draw for Luke Spencer and company. And Miami FC has said, okay, we're down a man. Let's just roll up our sleeves and let's do the little things right. We'll match the effort, we'll match the intensity, and then we just need someone to make a play. Hoyos comes in, he provides a little bit of a spark in terms of his energy, and then Bonfilio, a ruthless number 9, to find the back of the net.
This is only the 3rd time this year that FC Tulsa has conceded 2 goals or more. You go back a few weeks ago, they lost to Birmingham Legion 2-1. They also lost to 1 Knoxville SC back in the middle of April. Just the 3rd time. More changes for Luke Spencer. Stefan Lukic will come in. Lucas Stauffer will depart. He played well, particularly the first half.
So Lukic will come in. It's more of an attacking-minded sub for Luke Spencer. You're taking off a wingback to employ an attacking presence. Going to play right underneath Khalid Melkar in that number 10 role. Lukic is.
Ahmed Kahar did not start this contest. He came in the second half, much like Lukic. Lukic making the move from USL Championship after spending time in League One. 10th appearance of the season and 1 goal, no assist yet. There were times that opponents came to Miami and thinking that it was an easy 3 points against Miami FC. And there might be an inkling of thought too for FC Tulsa at the end of the first half. Up 2-1, your best player got involved early. You're also up a player. The second half, just play level and you should be fine. Well, Bonfilio scored the equalizer, and that was after Calhera departed. So now FC Tulsa's left chasing this match. They've had chances to pull away, make it 3-1, even 4-1. Bill Hamid made a huge stop on the doorstep against Goldthorpe. And Bonfilio, the equalizer. This thing is sitting at 2-2. Akinyori, fine play.
Really good work.
He's on yellow. You talked about the human nature, about maybe taking your foot off the gas pedal, being up a goal, Ricky, and then even up a player. How hard is that to restart once the game goes against you and now you see yourself deadlocked with a team that you were leading 2-1 and now up a player against?
Extremely hard, right? In terms of the mentality, you just think that all of the air got sucked out of you, but this is when you need an experienced player under Luke Spencer to take the reins and say, look, we've done it once, we can do it again. We can continue to push the tempo and try to get this third goal, because it's FC Tulsa, again, when they're playing at their best, the ball's moving quick, almost like that Goldthorpe opportunity. You just need to see it on a more of a consistent basis, and that is what we see two teams trying to figure out. The roster, the relationships starting to form, because this FC Tulsa side, they brought in a lot of players in this offseason, and Goldthorpe and Lucas Soffer midway through the season as well. So there's still a little bit of element that they need to gel in and play within each other.
Goldthorpe here, looking for a crease and gave it up though. There's a couple windows that were open for him to take the shot. Close to full time. Goldthorpe, the crossing attempt. Bill Hamid, awkward stop on the goal line though, and settles this down.
Just no nonsense here from Bill Hamid, understanding where he is within his positioning of his goal. Secure hands.
Noyo's down at the top of the screen. He's slowly back to his toes. Lukic and company trying to push, and this will be a corner.
Good effort here from Metrano just to leave his feet at the right time. Times this challenge to perfection as St. Clair again really testing the shape of Miami FC through his right back position.
Metrano, who's down right now, has gone wire to wire in this contest. He looks anything but comfortable right now. He'll have to quickly reset. Weber will take this corner for FC Tulsa. Weber wasting no time. Pretty good ball, top of the box. Played around. This thing never had a chance to be on target.
That's a wrong decision here from Serrato. Just lacking a little bit of composure. Does not need to take that first time. As we see Arthur Rogers go into the book. Him and Sissoko continuing to talk to John Maddow, a referee, saying that there was a lot of contact ahead of the ball. It's not whistled.
Oddly enough, the second half has been more tame with bookings and fouls all the way across the board. I say that because the opening half was filled with contact, chirping, John at the officials. Day is over with for Francisco Bonfilio. Tobias Zarate will replace him. In the 87th minute, Bonfilio, he earned his stripes tonight.
See a lot of contact. Left side of your screen, Sissoko, very animated. He was the one that was whistled initially on the foul on Bolu that resulted in Bonfilio's first goal.
Sissoko's been in the middle of all of it. Francisco Bonfilio was until now. He was just subbed out for Zarate, but he can take a bow. Bonfilio with 9 goals to lead Miami FC. Nobody else has more than 2. Those 2 goals are from Dalton Knutson on the back line for Miami. Gaston Madoni pushing all the right buttons here in the second half. This ball played into the box. Hamid comes out quickly to disrupt that. We did have a hydration break in the first and second half. The first half, excuse me, had 8 minutes of stoppage time. It can be anyone's guess here what the second half will be in terms of stoppage time. But Miami is not out of the woods yet. Miami needed to find a way to get an equalizer. They did. FC Tulsa wanted to get themselves an insurance marker or 2. They failed to do it. Not been for a lack of effort, just a lack of consistency in the second half, and now they've been victimized. Offside. At this point now, if you're Gaston Madoni, Rick, are you playing for the point?
100%. Right when you scored that second goal. And you can tell just by the subs that he brought on. Perron, then Cardona came on, just trying to set up shop and see this game out. Yeah, just frustration here from Mitrano. No need to kick the ball after the fact and pick up an extremely silly yellow card.
Of all times and of all things to happen, Mitrano picking up yellow. So he's stuck with caution. There'll be a moment or two where FC Tulsa will put more pressure on Miami's back line. Could happen here. Akinyoti comes out, Bill Hamid to challenge, and a good stop by Bill. Serrato off balance a bit, still got some pretty good pressure on it.
Good look here from Weber, and good secondary touch from Serrato, but that third just sends him a little bit too wide. Cuts down the angle and plays into the hands of Bill Hamid to make the goal very small as he just shifts over. Good recognition as well from Bolo Akinyoti not to try to make a play on the ball already on a yellow card.
Good closing speed against Serrano. Toronto and company trying to just push this game to its limit. If Miami can capture a point, it'll give them 17 on the year. 5 minutes of added time. Is it enough for FC Tulsa to find a game winner? Can Miami squeeze this game to a close? They didn't go for broke when they got the equalizer from Bonfilio. It was an opportune bounce that went their way that they created. There's an element of selling out that desperate teams will attempt. It didn't come from Gaston Madoni's troops here in the second half. They played composed, and a break went their way. But for FC Tulsa, they had their chances, not only in the first half, but in the second half to really pour it on, and they did not.
The handball. And to see Gaston Madoni, you can hear Gaston Madoni extremely frustrated that is not called. I tend to agree with him. It did seem like Serrato's arm was extremely high and does make contact with the ball.
Quick touch, Matrano, heads up play.
Done a really good job with the last couple minutes. Alejandro Matrano in terms of his positioning. Not overcommitting, dropping off, closing passing lanes, tough in the challenge. He's had himself an extremely active but successful second half.
No moral victories for Luke Spencer's troops. They come away with only 1 point. But this is a good teaching moment for him. You mentioned that his club has the potential to do a lot of damage in the Western Conference, but they're not content yet. Here's more yellow that's coming, this one to Cardona.
Good turn from Weber. Clear as day, handful the jersey. He knows he's beat, just trying to deny transitional moment. Cardona is.
So another yellow being delivered. 4 yellows and a red for Miami tonight. They're stockpiling this evening. Goldthorpe will take this. These are the late stages of this one. Goldthorpe softly played through with a little bit of bend. Sissoko drops down. He's asking for some kind of bailout. Not the time or the place. He's going to get it. Miami FC after this match will take on Lexington SC on July the 12th. For FC Tulsa on that same date, they have a date with Las Vegas Lights. FC Tulsa 6-3-3 on the year. Miami FC 5-7-1. They've already eclipsed what they did last year with 3 victories. Another foul. Matrano not happy with this one. This goes back to what you mentioned with the contact and him picking up a cheap yellow card. Moments like this, it could come back to bite him.
Opportunity here for FC Tulsa, and it's not the initial ball that can really cause some issues. It's a secondary, their knockdown. So once there is initial contact on the ball, the play is not done. Miami FC needs to be aware of their individual responsibilities here.
Serrato on this delivery into the box, headed around. This is a lot of trouble. Bodied off, good positioning from Miami to hold this thing at bay. Great convergence by Miami. Hoyos in the middle of it. Miami trying to bleed this game and the clock away. FC Tulsa not going away quietly. Heat continued to be applied. Matrano trying to get in front of that. Knutson skies it away.
Just mentioned about the secondary balls, but as this ball pops out, I just want you to watch. There's a lot of contact here from Mercado. If Elliot Goldthorpe goes down, it's a pen. If he leaves his feet and goes to the ground, you need to call this for John Madden. And we've seen a lot of the experience coming in this game, the game within the game, the dark art, so to say. Elliot Goldthorpe needs to be a little more clever.
Rogers, just too much arc on that. Sissoko was there. And this will be a gold kick. And never mind all that, we've reached full time in Miami. Gaston Madoni will run to his locker room because he knows his boys stole a point here tonight. Down a player for the entire second half, but they walk away with a 2-2 draw.
Moral victory for Miami FC. Whether it is they split the points, but to show character, to show grit, and to show the ability to come together when you're down a man, for that second half. Great opportunity and great response from Miami FC, but if you're Luke Spencer, you are extremely frustrated. You let 2 points just slip through your fingers.
Our Cricket Wireless man of the match is that man right there, Francisco Bonfilio. He lit it up tonight. He scored a pen in the opening half and the equalizer, lifting Miami FC to the 2-2 draw.
When your team needs you, who's going to step up? 9th on the season for Francisco Bonfilio, and he was massive for Miami FC.
17 points now for Miami, and FC Tulsa gets 22 on the year. Full time in South Florida. This match ends in a 2-2 draw.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Full time here. The post-game show is next. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. This match ends in a 2-2 draw for FC Tulsa. They're now unbeaten in 6 straight against Miami FC. But this thing was pretty wild to watch.
A lot of back and forth action as we see St. Clair wins that initial duel. Milano just really slow to react. Then Calher steps up. Doesn't hit it as cleanly as he would like. Bill Hamid reads it the whole way, but unable to push it towards his far post. He's going to want that one back as you see the celebration for Taylor Calher going back the other way. I just want you to watch around that penalty mark between Tezoko and Bolo Akanyori, both arms around the waist, almost asking Bolo to take a dance for Tezoko. And Bonfilio says, thank you very much. Notice how he lifts up the ball a little bit. Textbook when you go down the central part of the goal as the goalkeeper dives the other way. And this is where the game really changed for this FC Tulsa side. Good ball in. Elliot Goldthorpe plays in between both center backs. Almost a bit of a broken play. And it's going to be frustrating for Gaston Modoni the way that you can see this, because as Knudsen gets stepped up, Bolo provides a coverage. You need more rotation from Jonathan Ricketts to at least challenge for that ball. At Miami FC gets a red card in that first half. And then this is just about pure will from Moyos. You talked about him almost trying out for the Miami Dolphins. That is a really good highlight reel to allow Bonfilio just to keep this ball alive, and he's first to react and just roofs it to draw this game 2-2.
Bonfilio's team-leading 9th goal of the season. Hoyos on the deck to at least cause some havoc inside the 18-yard box. Bonfilio the magic, and this match ends in the 2-2 draw. The numbers and how they played out. 50-50 is the possession, but FC Tulsa was up a player the entire second half, and they just could not find that go-ahead goal that would put this game to bed.
Just became too casual for FC Tulsa. The complacency started to creep in because they generated some really good opportunities, but unable to really be ruthless and punish this Miami FC. For Gaston Modoni, a lot of positive you can take in that second 45 minutes.
And for Miami FC, they improved their record to 5-7-2, good for 17 points. For FC Tulsa, they go to 6-3-4. They have 22 points. Miami FC will have Lexington SC at home next week on July the 12th. For Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoy this one. Miami FC and FC Tulsa, they play to a 2-2 draw.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.